morning. So, here we are again. Today, just wanted to say something about the disaster that was the Trump speech at the United Nations. Basically, if you haven't seen the video of the speech, Trump essentially made an absolute and utter fool of himself and, by extension, the country. He was laughed at by the entire world, and not because he told a joke, but because he is a joke. He got up in front of the UN and started spouting off all manner of BS about what his administration has accomplished. And he was called out for it in a gale of laughter from the United Nations. Now, I've never been a fan of the United Nations. I feel like they are a bunch of spineless, useless bureaucrats for the most part. But in this case, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And they were 100% right to laugh at the lies that Trump was spewing from that podium. Donald Trump, by giving this speech in front of the world, has cemented himself as the biggest joke to ever occupy the Oval Office. Now, I know that his rabid fans, his rabid followers, the trumpeters, as I like to call them, are going to jump on this and say, you just take every opportunity to criticize Donald Trump, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I do. Because when he's worthy of criticism, as he was a couple days ago at the UN, I'm going to criticize him. Just like I criticized Barack Obama when he was worthy of criticism. Just like I criticized George W. Bush when he was worthy of criticism. Just because Trump claims to be a conservative, and I am also a conservative, he doesn't get a pass. I'm not one of these who falls down before the feet of Donald Trump anytime his fat face is on television. That's not me. If somebody is worthy of being criticized, I'm going to criticize them. When they do something praiseworthy, I'll praise them. Henceforth, Trump has not done anything worthy of praise, including that self-promoting speech at the United Nations. Every time Trump gets up to speak, he looks at his audience and he sees a bunch of people wearing MAGA hats. He sees a bunch of people wearing Trump paraphernalia, even though the audience is probably not that. The audience is not made up of his rabid base. It's not made up of people screaming, build the wall. The audience at the UN is made up of what is essentially a whole lot of, if not anti-American, at the very least, they are very skeptical of what this country wants to do, no matter who the leader is. And Trump got up there and gave a speech that he would have given in BFE, Montana, or at the state fair in Iowa to a bunch of his rabid supporters. Trump is an embarrassment. And it has not been more clearly demonstrated than when he got up in front of the United Nations and was laughed at. Not subtly, nobody tittered behind their hands and giggled and smiled. No, full-throated, out-loud laughter at an American president. And so many of you that call yourselves patriots, that you're pro-America, you want the country to be great, you should be embarrassed. You should be you should feel humiliated because your country, your president, got laughed at by the United Nations, a body that many of you don't have a whole lot of respect for. But you defend this man even though he was the cause of his and your and the country's humiliation. The blind loyalty that I saw yesterday in the response to my post on the UN laughing at Trump, I wasn't surprised. I really wasn't surprised, but I was surely disappointed because so many of you claim to be so proud of this country and so proud, of the United States of America. The United States of America got laughed at by an organization that has really done us no favors. And the reason that this country was laughed at is because of the man who now leads it. Sorry, I can't do air quotes with my coffee cup in my hand. But that's why this country was laughed at, because Donald Trump got up there, opened his mouth, and tons of BS flew out of it. And the UN knew it for BS. And their reaction is the same as mine. It's the same as millions of people in this country. They laughed at him. The UN and, like I said, essentially the world is laughing at the United States. They are laughing at Donald Trump. I don't like to be laughed at. Not for the simple fact that I live in a country that is led by an idiot. I don't like to be laughed at for that. If I tell a joke, great. I'm all for laughter. But being laughed at for the fact that this nation elected a rodeo clown into the White House, a rodeo clown who got up in front of the world and made claims that we all know are not true. As much as I don't like to be laughed at, I can't say that we didn't deserve it.